Ellen stood in her modest bedroom, the air heavy with lavender and memory. Her fingers traced the burgundy gown in her closet, its velvet folds soft as a whispered promise, catching the faint glow of her bedside lamp. At 62, she saw her life woven into its fabric. Annie's high school graduation, where her daughter's laughter had echoed through the auditorium. Her college commencement, rain-soaked but radiant. And the dinner celebrating Annie's first promotion, when Annie had raised a glass, her voice warm, to Mom, who's always there. Now, 3 weeks after their bitter argument, the gown felt like a ghost of a bond unraveling. The fight had erupted over a phone call, Annie's voice sharp as winter frost. "We need $65,000 for the wedding, Mom. It's non-negotiable." The demand had stunned Ellen, as if Harold's life insurance, her carefully guarded nest egg for retirement, was Annie's to claim. "Joy doesn't come from Italian marble or a Maldives getaway," Ellen had replied, her voice steady but fraying. "I can offer $15,000, enough for a heartfelt local ceremony." Annie's retort cut deep. "You're selfish, Mom, hoarding that money while Henry and I build our future. Don't you care about my contentment?" Ellen sank onto her bed, the gown draped across her lap. She saw Annie as a child, barefoot in the backyard, clutching dandelions she called sunshine blooms. That girl was gone, replaced by a stranger with cold, calculating eyes. The phone rang, and Annie's name flashed on the screen. Her voice was softer now, almost fragile. "Mom, I've been thinking. Maybe we've both been too stubborn. Can we talk over dinner? I want to fix this." "I'd like that, sweetheart," Ellen said, her throat tight. She envisioned roast chicken, Annie's favorite, and a peach pie from the market. Maybe Annie's pregnancy 3 months along had stirred a sense of sacrifice. Ellen hung the gown on the doorframe, hope flickering. She spent the day in her garden, the scent of basil and marigolds grounding her, a ritual Harold had loved as they planted together. She rehearsed words of love, praying this dinner would mend their rift, her heart torn between hope and fear. 3 weeks earlier, Ellen's living room had become a battleground. Annie sat on the couch, her fiancé Henry beside her, his polished shoes tapping a restless rhythm on the hardwood. Ellen had brewed chamomile tea, hoping to ease the tension, but the cup sat untouched, steam curling like unanswered prayers. Henry slid a spreadsheet across the coffee table, his voice smooth as a pitch. "The venue, catering, flowers, and a proper honeymoon. It's $65,000 minimum. That's the standard for a wedding like ours." Ellen scanned the figures, imported marble for a bathroom renovation, a string quartet, a week in the Maldives. Her stomach twisted. After Harold's death, she'd sold their family home, moving to this duplex to stretch the insurance funds. Every penny was accounted for. Her pension, her savings, the garden she tended to keep costs low. "That's a steep sum," she said, her voice measured. "I can offer $15,000, Annie. It's generous, enough for a heartfelt local ceremony." Annie's eyes flashed, her jaw tight. "$15,000? That's nothing, Mom. This is my wedding, the start of my life with Henry. You're guarding Dad's savings like a shrine. Don't you want me to be fulfilled?" The words stung, sharper than Ellen expected. "Of course I do," she said, gripping her chair. "But contentment comes from connection, not extravagance. Your father and I—" "Don't bring Dad into this," Annie snapped. "He's gone, and you're clinging to his legacy." Henry nodded, his gaze calculating. Ellen recalled Annie's childhood, weaving dandelion crowns, and wanted to shake her back to that simplicity. The silence was suffocating. When they left, the door slam echoed, leaving Ellen alone with her grief. Ellen knelt in her garden, the morning sun warm on her shoulders. The duplex's backyard was a vibrant haven, tomatoes, basil, and marigolds thriving under her care. She plucked weeds, the earth's scent grounding her, a ritual Harold had loved. The phone call from Annie came as she pruned roses, her hands trembling. "Mom," Annie said, her tone soft, almost vulnerable, "I've been thinking. Maybe we've both been too stubborn. Can we talk over dinner? I want to fix this." Ellen's heart lifted, hope taking root. Maybe Annie's pregnancy had awakened a sense of family. "I'd like that, sweetheart," she replied, her voice catching. She spent the afternoon preparing roast chicken with rosemary, mashed potatoes, and a peach pie. She set the table with Harold's chipped anniversary plates and hung the burgundy gown, now tailored to fit her more confidently, its neckline lower, accentuating her figure in a bold yet elegant way. Chopping vegetables, she rehearsed, "I love you, Annie. Let's find a way forward." The garden's aroma mingled with the kitchen's warmth. She recalled Annie's laughter, their dandelion days, and prayed this dinner would bridge their divide. A neighbor's visit added warmth, reinforcing Ellen's hope for reconciliation. The doorbell chimed at 6, and Ellen smoothed her apron, heart racing. Annie stood on the porch, her coat hiding her slight baby bump. Henry loomed behind, his smile polite but distant. "Smells wonderful, Mom," Annie said, her voice tentative. They sat at the dining table, the chicken golden, steam rising from potatoes. Ellen, wearing the altered burgundy gown, felt a surge of confidence, its fitted design hugging her curves, a subtle nod to her resilience. She asked about Annie's job, her health. "How's the morning sickness, sweetheart?" she said as she passed the platter. "Not too bad," Annie replied, eyes flicking to Henry. He cleared his throat. "Ellen, we appreciate the meal, but we need to discuss the wedding. We've revised the budget 50,000. It's a compromise." Ellen's hope faltered. "That's a lot," she said, voice thin. "I've offered 15,000. It's what I can give without jeopardizing my future." Annie's face tightened, but she stayed silent. Henry listed vendors, deposits. Ellen felt the wound reopen. This wasn't about love, but obligation. The gown's elegance felt out of place, the table a chasm between them. As Henry droned on about catering, Ellen's mind drifted to Annie at 6, barefoot in the grass, clutching dandelions she called sunshine blooms. Those days were simple. Picnics, Harold's barbecues, Annie's laughter. In college, Annie had shifted, drawn to wealth and status. Now, her silence at the table felt like betrayal, her loyalty torn. Ellen snapped back, the clink of silverware grounding her. She wondered if she had failed to teach Annie what mattered, connection over luxury. A new memory surfaced. Annie's first marketing job, her pride in her work, now overshadowed by Henry's ambitions. Ellen wanted to reach across the table to pull Annie back to their dandelion days, but the divide felt too wide. Ellen couldn't stay silent. "Henry, you're pressuring Annie, not me," she said, her voice sharp, the burgundy gown's elegance bolstering her resolve. Annie stood, eyes wide. "Mom, don't! Henry's right. You don't understand. Social media, expectations. We need this." Ellen rose, hands trembling. "Need? You need love, Annie, not a spectacle. $15,000 is my limit." Annie's face hardened. "You don't care about my fulfillment," she said, grabbing her coat. They left, the door slam ringing. Ellen sank into a chair, the gown's weight heavy. She considered donating it, letting go of the past, but her hands wouldn't move. A new subplot emerged. Clara, her neighbor, shared her own story of family estrangement, offering Ellen perspective. Weeks blurred, and Ellen buried herself in her garden. She yanked weeds, marigolds blooming defiantly. The soil's scent soothed her, a reminder of Harold. Clara noticed Ellen's red-rimmed eyes and invited her for tea. Over chamomile, Ellen poured out her pain. The argument, Annie's coldness, the gown's weight. "You raised a strong girl," Clara said. "She's caught in a world of likes and dollars. It's not your fault." Ellen nodded, finding solace in the garden's patience. A new character, a local florist, shared stories of simple weddings, reinforcing Ellen's values. She tended her plants, hoping Annie would find her way back, the gown still hanging as a symbol of hope. Annie sat in her sleek apartment, scrolling through a colleague's lavish wedding photos, chandeliers, designer gowns. The envy felt hollow. 3 months pregnant, her body changed, her mind a storm. Henry wanted perfection, but she missed her mother's warmth, their dandelion days. She journaled an unsent letter. "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm scared I'm losing myself." A new scene introduced her colleague Mia, whose materialism fueled Annie's doubts. At a work event, Mia's boasts about her wedding clashed with Annie's memories of Ellen's simplicity. City lights blurred through tears as she questioned her path, the letter a quiet step towards truth. Annie walked through a park, the scent of grass stirring memories of dandelion crowns. Sunshine blooms, Ellen had called them, teaching her beauty's simplicity. Her pregnancy made her reflect on motherhood. What kind would she be? She added to her journal, "I want to be like you, Mom. Strong but kind." A new scene at a baby store where Annie saw mothers and daughters deepened her regret. The park's quiet beauty felt like clarity. She wasn't ready to face Ellen, but the dandelions at her feet were a reminder of what she might reclaim. Her letter, a growing confession. A month later, Annie called alone. "Mom, can we meet? Just us?" Ellen agreed, sensing sincerity. They met at a cafe, the air thick with apologies. Annie admitted she'd been overwhelmed, caught in Henry's vision. Ellen, in the burgundy gown, its fitted design, radiant, listened. "I've always wanted your joy, Annie. Not through wealth, but through us." They planned a garden wedding. $15,000, dandelions